Yo guys, welcome to the show again. Today we're going to go over one of my favourite games. Game Kasparov versus Joseph Preview? Well, something. So let's get on with the game. This is such a phenomenal game, but guess you'll see. This is in many collections. This is from Shara, 1980. So Kasparov playing white. Sorry. We have the grunfeld defense. Kasparov elects to go into the exchange variation. This is the most popular variation now. So white is allowed to construct this quick center, but can be shown to be more fragile than it appears. Even though it looks strong at first, black will often break with c6 straight away and has rapid development, and will put enormous pressure on the center. In lots of grunfeld lines, the king won't be able to castle because of the rapid development without the centre being destroyed. So bishop b7, knight f3. This is all opening theory, and I believe this is the first move out of opening theory. I believe normal is to play castles or c5. So this is an opening novelty at the time, and Kasparov shows it to be a little too slow. The weakness of this move is there's no perpendicular light square diagonals. Obviously the bishop wants to be in Jetta here or here. So Kasparov puts the question and checks the white king. Now, black doesn't really want to move the knight here, pinning the king. I'll move the bishop here now that he's got these light squared weaknesses here now that he's already made that move. So he's kind of obliged to play the c6 move. So now the bishop goes to c4 on this nice diagonal, and it's kind of slowed down black's development of this pawn. So later he would like to play c5 anyway. So now he's blocked off the bishop and he's made black take two moves to make this break. Black just castles here, as does white. Now black perhaps makes another mistake here and tries to force off the bishops here. So white's bishop looks a bit more superior here, but as is shown, the initiative gained by this is quite painful for black. With the exchange, the knight's brought to this dim square on the edge, and white just moves the queen to this active square, even though it's on the side active, attacking the knight. He doesn't want to move here, otherwise he's also losing this pawn. The engine actually recommends just admitting this was a mistake, moving the knight back to b8. But in a lot of chess positions, people try and justify the moves they've made. So it's very important to be honest when you make a mistake. I'm not saying Joseph wasn't honest. He may have thought this was perfectly fine. It moves the queen to c8. It looks a little passive, but protecting both of these. And white moves bishop to g5, attacking this pawn. Now, maybe better would be rook, just activating the rook here, but that also has some downsides. But black develops his queen, connects his rooks, and defends all three of these, so now the queen's tied down to three different things. Now white moves rook to e1, supporting this pawn. We have e6, so locking down this pawn break. Rook to b1, moving it off this diagonal and x-raying the queen. Now we have c5. Black wants to break, and if white takes, he wants to move this pawn into here, putting pressure on the centre. He thinks he's clamped down on here. However, he's probably very surprised when Kasparov plays d5, offering a pawn sacrifice, which is taken. It looks nice as well because it's attacking this rook. The rook moves, and this is taken and taken, and the bishop is just moved back. So what would have happened if we just took on here first? Could it have worked this way around? Well, no, because the queen's still tied down to defending this, and it would transpose into the same if the pawn was taken. If the pawn wasn't taken, white might seal this up or just move the rook anyway. So either way, seem to end up in the same kind of situation. So the bishop's just moved back to g7, safety. And Kasparov just matches this pawn forward. This also blocks off the knight coming back here. So in this position, we have f6. I believe an alternative might be moving the bishop back here to blockade the pawn. I'm not sure about, the knight, sorry. I'm not sure about that, maybe we'll look at that later. f6 is played. Now, you might want to pause it, have a look at the position and calculate what you would do in this position. Of course, this pawn is a strength and a weakness. If black has time, he's going to round up rooks on it and collect it, so time's of the essence, but how do we support the pawn? We're going to need to bring in these minor pieces, and of course we're looking at the weakness of the last move of this f6. It's also unleashed this light square diagonal, which is made use of soon. So you might want to pause it and try and find the move here. So the move used here is just d7, letting the bishop be taken. And this continuation is quite incredible, really. But you might want to know what happens if the bishop is taken. Well, it is taken. And this is the start of an interesting maneuver. So f takes g7, but before knight takes, it's important that we have this queen check. So king here, if the rook moves there, we're just going to hit it with the knight, and it'll be pinned, in trouble. Now we take knight takes, of course threatening this nasty windmilling check. So on knight takes, we have bishop f6, creating this escape square for the king, and blockading this d8 square. So it looks like the defense is holding, right? So knight e6 is played, supporting this and attacking the rook. Now in this position, knight c7 is played. There's not much else really to do. Try and move this rook instead of what was played, knight c7. Then I believe we can just attack this bishop. and the bishop's almost overloaded. If he moves off this diagonal, the check will pick up material. If he moves onto this diagonal, it will be no longer supporting the pawn. So a little material is given back. Knight c7. Kasparov takes his rook. Rook takes. Now, this is a hard move to spot, but rook d6 is played. So attacking this bishop, letting the supporting the idea of doubling up rooks behind this passed pawn. Bishop e7 is played, attacking the rook, putting the question to it. But now these two beautiful diagonals are exploited. Queen check is played. Only move king g8. Oh, sorry. Bishop e7. And first we promote. Don't make use of the check yet. Bishop takes. Now queen check. King g7. Rook d7. Threatening mate. Bishop f6. Queen c4 check. King has the move here. No. King h8, now queen f4. Double attacking this. Pinning the bishop. So what a tactical move. Now in this position it's very, very difficult to play, but queen a6 is played. Getting out of the pin. And the final finishing move of the game. Not just taking material that's offered, but a forced mate in 4 started with queen here, and an easy mate in 4 as well, where black just has to give away the queen and things. So what a wonderful game. Let's have a quick review. So the opening was the grunfeld exchange variation, but white tries this double vinchetto system, but it's proved to be a little too slow by Kasparov, who puts the question and slows down black's development while completing his own, and all black's development seems quite awkward while white develops almost with tempo. And then he offers this pawn sacrifice, which is taken, and supports his pawn just rolling up the board, which is quite hard to stop. And this beautiful knight maneuver with while also helping the pawn roll up the board. The knight and queen are quite dangerous with the queen on this diagonal, where black exploited the diagonal himself by playing f6. So, and the game just finished in style. So what a brilliant game. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. More videos every week.